and Matt Serra has 2 herniated discs in his back from teaching a jiu-jitsu class, and the fight's off. So George St. Pierre is coming in to fill in for him, the guy who just knocked out Hughes to win the title. And it was, I was pretty disappointed. I wanted Matt Serra to fight Hughes so bad.
Because he was talking so much trash throughout the season.
It's not just a trash talker. Like, you got to understand something. This show, The Ultimate Fighter, has changed my perception of what fighters are and what people are. Because guys who I used to think were showboaty jerks, like, you find out that they're actually just, like, regularly okay, cool dudes. And the guys who are, like, the quiet, cool guy types are the guys who are jerks. Matt Hughes used to be my favorite fighter. Because of seeing him on the 2 Ultimate Fighter shows that he was on, I don't like seeing him anymore. I don't like him anymore. I still think he's a good fighter, and I still enjoy watching his fights, but I can't cheer for the guy anymore. He used to be my favorite fighter. Tito Ortiz, I used to hate Tito Ortiz. I have a Tito Ortiz shirt now, like sweatshirt now that I wear. I love the guy. I think he's awesome.
What turned you off about Matt Hughes and turned you on about Tito Ortiz?
Like I said, when seeing them when they're real people, not just the guy who's doing the hype and walking into the ring, like when you see them being a person and actually being a coach and seeing that they really care about people, like Matt Hughes comes off, not to echo Matt Serra's sentiment, he actually comes off on the show as like being like that he's kind of like a lunkhead jock that doesn't really care about fighting or anything. He's a guy who fights and that's it.
Can't wait to call someone a lunkhead.
So who do you have in the Hughes St. Pierre fight?
George St. Pierre is going to crush him.
Yeah, right.
George St. Pierre should have crushed Matt Serra, even though I like Matt Serra. Like he's entertaining to me. He's not in the same class as George St. Pierre. Yeah, George St. Pierre is going to crush Matt Hughes for a second time.
That guy that was the president, what was his name? Dana White?
Dana White.
Was he a former fighter?
I've never seen him fight, but I've heard that he is a mixed martial arts fighter. I've never seen him fight.
But they're not going to go. It's too real to go all WWE and have them have him fight someone.
Well, they were supposed. He was supposed to fight Tito Ortiz because they had like contract disputes and issues a while back, and it actually was. It really does sound WWF.
It really is great when you can take those WWF. Storylines and for the most part translate them into a real thing.
Who would you take in a fight in the octagon? Dana White versus Vince McMahon.
I have no basis to know what Dana White can do. I have no basis whatsoever. They did like a show on Spike, like the training when he was training for Tito Ortiz, and he looked kind of good in the training, but I mean, I have no basis. For the matter, I have no basis for what Vince McMahon does.
Who would you take in a choreographed wrestling match? Vince McMahon?
Mikhail Baryshnikov. He's my favorite choreographer. When Vince McMahon comes to the ring, it's going to be one of the most devastatingly scary things you'll ever see in the world. Because he comes out like he's like kind of like a big guy. He's kind of tough, and then his music comes blaring on. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. You see this guy come in the ring.
That Baryshnikov sentence was like you cut up your sentence and scattered pieces of it everywhere across the world.
What do you mean?
And people have to go find them and put them together to make sense of what you were saying.
Baryshnikov didn't make sense?
Is your favorite choreographer?
Isn't that what we were saying? That's when I was supposed to do my whole thing about choreographing Donna, but I couldn't because I got confused.
Everyone knows Gorbachev was the choreographer.
Honestly. What's up, buddy?
Good morning.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, it's a great morning. It's maybe the best morning our show has
ever had. How do
You
I
sound terrific. You sound really loud in my ears.
Yeah, you guys sound icky poo.
On the show or on the phone?
A little of both.
Oh, good. Awesome. Terrific.
It's okay on the phone. It's not so bad. There's a weird.
At least you're enjoying it
like
on the
electronics.
Yeah, as long as you're enjoying it on the phone, it doesn't really make a difference if anyone can actually listen to this piece of crap. Who cares?
I love that defeatist attitude.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Well, I mean, we're 35 minutes in and we still haven't figured out how to make it sound good. So what are we going to do?
35 minutes in or 2 years in?
Well, oh yeah, that too. So what's up, buddy? Where are you at today?
Continuing my 213-part expose on fast food, I'm at Burger King in Rutland, Vermont, where a 24-year-old college student said he got a little more than he bargained for in his Southwestern Whopper. Van Miguel Heartless irritated the counterperson by asking for his Whopper to be made his way, minus the onions and with jalapenos. She insisted Burger King never carried jalapenos. Mr. Heartless argued that he'd had them there before. Ultimately, he gave up on the peppers. But when she read the order back to him, it was still wrong and he had to correct her. Although not in the drive-thru, he was taking his order to go, meaning an annoyed employee can do anything they want to it. So what does Mr. Heartless and his lawyer claim the employees of this particular Burger King did? My third bite into the burger, it was just a foreign taste, he said. It was a very sour, bitter sort of taste. It almost had a numbing sensation. As I went to bite down a little harder, I felt rubber grind between my teeth. And that's when he saw it. An unwrapped, potentially used condom hanging half in and half out of his mouth. As a red-blooded American male with the government issue amount of germ and homophobias, he was horrified. In a lawsuit against the owners of this particular Burger King, Heartless seeks undisclosed damages for pain and suffering, vomiting, emotional duress, and medical expenses. Because there was no way to tell if the condom had been used, he visited his doctor several times testing for HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases. Tests have all come back negative, but they did cost him about $300. In the days soon after the incident, Heartless said he couldn't bring himself to eat anything, and he said he had nightmares about the hamburger. I know it sounds kind of funny now, but I had dreams where I would be doing random things, and whatever I was holding would turn into the hamburger or the condom. The official response in letter form from Burger King to Heartless was vague, saying, "Hope you come back and have a more pleasurable experience." The manager he complained to initially both laughed at him and suggested Heartless put the condom in the burger himself in hopes of receiving free future burgers. 2 years ago, a woman who claimed to have found a finger in her bowl of chili at a California Wendy's restaurant was exposed as a fraud. The attorney in this case had Heartless sit for a lie detector test about his distasteful dining experience, which he passed with flying colors. Objective and unbiased reporting in the increasingly perilous world of fast food. For Best in Show Radio News, I'm Vanessa Cheatwood.
The thing that I'm curious about this whole thing, more than anything else, is did he go to police immediately afterwards, or somebody to get the kids at that worked at this Burger King, prosecuted in any way? Is there any word on that?
No, he went home and discovered the condom in his burger.
Oh, he was at home. I assumed he was driving in the car the way it sounded. So you went all the way home.
No, he actually was. He was buying Burger King dinner for his whole family. So he went home, and which is probably why they were more annoyed. He was ordering many things and had to correct her when she got it wrong. And he went home, he discovered it, and he complained to the manager and got laughed at. But he didn't. I guess he sat around and got angry for a few weeks, and then decided to call a lawyer.
Yeah, I couldn't even possibly fathom or understand how you don't immediately, one, go back to the place and just start swinging, or two, calling cops. You got to get police involved immediately at that point. Granted, it's a condom and it's not.
The first thing you do is go to the doctor, my friend. I mean, that is you find the condom. Is it used? I mean, you got to get
cops. Cops
really?
First.
Oh, I would do doctor first.
If you want to sue somebody, you got to get the cop. First of all, you got to get the police report, right?
Exactly.
At the doctor's office. Okay.
Yeah, I've had that experience before. They constantly put ketchup on my burgers when they ask them not to.
You call the cops, right?
I will say honestly, what kind of maroon doesn't know that there's no jalapenos at Burger King?
What kind of maroon doesn't
He
check
says
his
he got
food
them there
before he
before.
leaves?
What did he check it for? For condoms? You're not going to open up every burger, are you?
I personally check it to make sure the order's right, and I just inspect the food.
But that's because you're a weirdo. That's because you have problems with food and there's issues with you. It's not because it's a normal thing to inspect it, especially he's bringing food home for the family. That means he's going to sit there and go through 20 burgers or however many burgers there are. Oh, sorry, I figured it was a family my size, a family of two, where I eat 19 burgers. It just seems a bit much for me. Well, that's why I've sworn off meat. That's why I haven't gone to Burger King in days.
I haven't eaten that since yesterday.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I haven't eaten Burger King since I had a bad experience there. Probably about, I guess, 6 months or so ago.
You mean with my hamburgers that I gave you because they put ketchup on them?
Yeah, the ones that had tinfoil inside the burger that got wedged inside my wife's teeth, and she actually had to go to a dentist to have it removed.
And then a few months ago, Brian was sitting here drinking his soda from that Burger King, and he realized the nozzle from the machine was in his soda.
That was filthy.
By the way, did you guys notice something when you came here today? That Burger King closed down this week.
Yeah, it closed down last week. It wasn't there on Sunday.
I discovered it this week. I didn't know it was closed that long.
Where did all those really intelligent people go for work then?
Apparently to the Pizza Hut that got closed down for being infested with rats. That's in the same plaza. That one.
I thought they went to Time Warner.
Ouch! Zinger. Yeah, I haven't. I'm not.
Do you guys do you guys eat rice from Chinese food places?
Not anymore.
Not often. No. Usually I've filled
Yeah,
myself
two
up.
different times. Two different times it wasn't me,